Chapter 2257. The Beginning and End of the Great World. Spiritual perception. Lin Moyu made note of these two words. From ancient times to the present, humans have experienced many great calamities, and much information has been lost. The existence of the four divine beasts like the vermilion bird can indeed bring back a lot of information from ancient times. Black tortoise flew back. Its shell was covered in wounds, but fortunately it was hard enough to withstand the damage. The azure dragon was indeed powerful. Just its killing domain while asleep was enough to block most supremes. The vermilion bird's nirvana, the white tiger's fierce winds, the azure dragon's domain. That's why the black blood great world ultimately chose the black tortoise. Only the black tortoise was the easiest to approach, but unfortunately their plan still ended in failure. Black tortoise asked,
"How did it go? Was it successful?"
Vermilion bird nodded.
"It was successful."
Black tortoise grunted.
"That's good. If it didn't work, I would have tried again."
The azure dragon's soul was becoming more active, its soul aura starting to spread out. At this point, everyone could sense it. After waiting a while longer, the azure dragon's body suddenly moved. Its body, 100 million meters long, suddenly stretched out straight into a line, as if stretching lazily, before curling up again. The azure dragon was very quiet, not making a sound as it turned its head to look at the vermilion bird and the others. It retracted its domain, and its huge body flickered in the starry sky, instantly appearing in front of the group. At this point it had shrunk from 100,000 meters to just 10 meters, about the same size as the vermilion bird and white tiger.
"How are you all awake?"
The azure dragon's voice was crisp, even sounding somewhat pleasant. Lin Moyu could sense that the aura on the azure dragon's body was still somewhat weak. Its injuries didn't seem to have fully healed yet. After 100,000 years, its injuries still hadn't recovered. One can imagine how severe the azure dragon's injuries were back then. Vermilion bird said,
"Something happened with the great world, so we woke up."
Azure dragon asked,
"What happened? I can sense that the great world's origin seems very weak. The situation is very bad."
White tiger looked at Lin Moyu.
"Now can you explain in detail? The more detailed the better."
Lin Moyu nodded and recounted everything that had happened after the ancient Great War. He spoke for a long time, and the four origin divine beasts listened quietly. Sometimes White Tiger wanted to interject, but was stopped by Vermilion Bird's gaze. As Lin Moyu narrated, the auras of the four divine beasts kept fluctuating, especially when he talked about what happened 10,000 years ago when humans nearly went extinct, killing intent surged from them. Vermilion bird, black tortoise, and azure dragon were all deep in thought. Only white tiger kept looking around, not knowing what it was thinking. Azure dragon slowly opened its eyes.
"I never imagined humans would face such great calamities. It really wasn't easy. However, I don't understand why the great world's origin has reached this state now."
White tiger said,
"If you can't figure it out, then don't think about it. You may have been pretending to think just now, but I know very well that with your brain, you can't think of anything."
Azure dragon looked at it silently.
"Itching for a beating?"
White tiger raised its head.
"The truth hurts the most. Although you don't like hearing it, what I said is all true."
Azure dragon snorted, its tail suddenly lashing out and sending white tiger flying out of sight with a bang.
"You know it but still say it. Your brain must be sick."
Azure dragon said disdainfully, with a hint of tsundere. White tiger quickly flew back. It wasn't injured. Azure dragon had held back. Azure dragon warned,
"If you keep spouting nonsense, next time I'll hit you so hard you won't be able to come back."
White tiger snorted,
"I am unyielding in the face of violence. If you think you can deal with me through violence, forget it. All right, stop arguing."
Vermilion bird suddenly spoke up, having finished its contemplation. Black tortoise had also stopped thinking at this point and slowly said,
"I think I understand the general situation now. After the black blood frenzy, the four of us fell into slumber. The great world's origin was damaged and difficult to recover. Those heavenly sovereigns went to the boundary sea, knowing that in their lifetimes, the great world would not collide with another world again. The black blood great world's origin couldn't be absorbed, and they couldn't obtain origin from other worlds, so the great world's origin couldn't recover. They also couldn't advance to become Tao sovereigns.
Vermilion Bird added,
Originally those heavenly sovereigns were still hoping to defeat the black blood great world, and like before, seize the black blood great world's origin to make the great world ascend again, paving the way for them to become Tao sovereigns. No one expected the black blood great world's origin to be so special that it couldn't be absorbed at all. Not only could it not be absorbed, it even caused severe damage to the great world's origin. All the heavenly sovereigns' calculations and schemes ended in failure. How laughable indeed.
Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat as he listened, and he blurted out,
Could it be that the great world's encounter with the black blood great world wasn't a coincidence?
Black Tortoise chuckled.
How could there be so many coincidences? After learning that the great world couldn't recover and they couldn't advance to become Tao sovereigns, those heavenly sovereigns left. Their departure took away part of the great world's origin, adding injury to injury for the great world. Once they left, the great world began to decline. In the Great War, all the divine paths were severed. It became difficult for supremes to appear in the great world, let alone heavenly sovereigns. There was also no one who could repair the great world.
Black Tortoise's voice grew colder, and Lin Moyu's heart grew more alarmed as he listened. The secrets of the great world were finally revealed. The great world's current state was inextricably linked to those heavenly sovereigns. Please vote. It was the heavenly sovereigns who altered the great world's trajectory, deliberately causing a collision with the black blood great world. The heavenly sovereigns wanted to use the black blood great world to make the great world ascend, paving the way for them to become Tao sovereigns. Unfortunately, they miscalculated. Not only did they ruin the great world's chance to ascend, but they also cut off their own path to becoming Tao sovereigns. Knowing they could only wait for death in the great world, these heavenly sovereigns left, and even took away some of the already insufficient origin of the great world. This made the great world's situation even worse. From then on, the great world began to decline. The territory continued to expand, but resources could no longer regenerate. Its power grew weaker and weaker, and collapse was only a matter of time. Only the 4 battlegrounds, due to the presence of the 4 origin divine beasts, still had new resources being born. Everything developed in the worst possible direction, eventually reaching a point of no return.
The great world's current state, besides the many karmic causes, was partly brought about by those heavenly sovereigns. Those heavenly sovereigns, as people of the great world, ended up abandoning the great world. How laughable.
Lin Moyu spoke softly, his tone full of mockery. Vermilion Bird said,
Actually, we can't blame them. At the heavenly sovereign level, with nowhere to advance, that feeling is understandable. A heavenly sovereign once told me that for beings at their level, having no way to advance is an incredibly terrifying despair. So they would try everything possible to gain a chance to advance. As for this world, they had attachments to it too, but compared to advancing, the world was something they could abandon.
Black Tortoise also added,
It's not that the world can be abandoned. For the sake of advancing, there's nothing that can't be abandoned. There was also a heavenly sovereign who said that if they could become Tao sovereigns, they would come back to save the great world.
Lin Moyu said disdainfully,
After leaving the great world, can they still advance to become Tao sovereigns? They can.
Azure Dragon suddenly spoke up, giving Lin Moyu a definitive answer. Black Tortoise also said,
Indeed they can, it's just much more difficult. Compared to staying in the great world, the difficulty is much higher. With the great world completely hopeless, they had no choice but to leave.
Vermilion Bird looked at Lin Moyu.
Do you hate them?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
I don't hate them. I have no right to hate them. Because I'm not a heavenly sovereign, I can't understand their despair. I also don't know if I reach the heavenly sovereign level, whether I would make the same choice as them. I wouldn't now, but what about in 100,000 years or 200,000 years? Faced with death, would my thoughts change? I really don't know.
Lin Moyu was speaking the truth. Time can change many things. No one can guarantee that their future self will have the same thoughts as their present self. 2258, 2258. Chapter 2258. His level is higher than ours. Lin Moyu did not blame those heavenly sovereigns. Each person has different positions and perspectives, and their choices naturally differ. He had no right to blame others, and he couldn't guarantee what choices he would make if he were in their position. He could only say what decisions he would make now. Lin Moyu's Tao heart was firm. His current goal was to do everything possible to save the great world and restore it. White Tiger, after listening for a long time, muttered,
"What's the point of talking about ancient matters? It's better to talk about the present and the future."
Vermilion Bird surprisingly did not refute White Tiger's words.
"Indeed, we should talk about the future."
The four origin divine beasts did not have much sympathy for the tragic experiences of the human race. They belonged to the great world, not to the human race. As long as the great world still existed, even if the human race perished, they wouldn't be too sad. In their eyes, the human race was no different from the intelligent cosmic beasts. They had once fought alongside the human race, so their relationship with humans was relatively good. Black Tortoise said,
"Now that I am awake, I will purify the remaining power of the black blood great world in the great world."
White Tiger said,
"There are still some remnants of the black blood great world outside the domain. I will go and deal with them. Actually, these are not the key issues. The key issue is that in over 1,200 years, that thing called the Battle Realm will arrive. According to what Lin Moyu said, although there won't be any heavenly sovereigns in that world, there will be no shortage of supremes and peak supremes. And our current situation is so bad."
Black Tortoise said,
"Indeed, the great world can no longer withstand another impact. However, the arrival of the Battle Realm is also an opportunity. It might be the chance for the great world to recover."
Azure Dragon said,
"In ancient times, I once had the combat power of a heavenly sovereign, but now I no longer have it. There are still over 1,000 years left. I need to recover some of my strength."
Back then, Azure Dragon returned most of its origin power to the great world, so its current combat power was no longer at the heavenly sovereign level. Not only Azure Dragon, but Vermilion Bird, White Tiger, and Black Tortoise were even weaker. Although they could still contend with peak supremes by borrowing origin power, the Battle Realm was also a world with origin power. In a real fight against the peak of the Battle Realm, except for Azure Dragon, the other three would mostly lose. Moreover, there were no supremes left in the human race. In this state, Azure Dragon, as the top combat power, needed to be as strong as possible to increase the chances of victory. Black Tortoise said,
"I remember that many people left the domain back then. Among them, there seemed to be supremes, and some who retired from the battlefield were also supremes."
White Tiger said,
"Even if there are supremes, what use are they? Their lifespans have long been exhausted. Even if we find them, they would only be corpses. Do you intend to make corpses fight?"
Lin Moyu's eyes suddenly lit up. He thought of a possibility. Corpses could indeed be used for fighting. Not only could they fight, but their combat power would be stronger than when they were alive, and they could self-destruct again after dying. Many thoughts emerged in Lin Moyu's mind. At this moment, Vermilion Bird's eyes lit up. He said to Black Tortoise,
"Do you mean to retrieve the origins of those supremes?"
Black Tortoise nodded slowly.
"That's right. After those supremes died, their rule worlds might not have dissipated, and there would still be some origin power left in their rule worlds. Even if they dissipated, they might have gathered their origin power for their descendants. The outer domain is not a good place. All kinds of things can happen. Those supremes would have tried various ways to protect their descendants. They might have even left their rule worlds for their descendants to live in."
Vermilion Bird asked,
"If we find them, what do you plan to do?"
Black Tortoise said,
Bring back the origin. If they agree, bring the people back too. If they don't agree, kill them.
It spoke calmly, as if discussing something trivial. Human lives were indeed insignificant in their eyes. To them, as long as they could save the great world, it didn't matter if the human race perished. White Tiger said,
After we eliminate the pests of the black blood great world, I'll use the blood of the human race to activate the bloodline tracking and find those guys in the outer domain. We still have time. I'll find them one by one. We can always find some origin. With origin, our combat power can also recover a bit.
At this moment, White Tiger looked at Lin Moyu.
Lin Moyu, I need the blood of the human race for bloodline tracking, and the stronger the better. The strongest in your human race should be half-step supremes.
Boom! Lin Moyu's killing intent surged, and he stared at White Tiger with a hostile gaze. White Tiger was startled.
Lin Moyu, what are you doing?
The other three Origin Divine Beasts also looked at Lin Moyu in surprise, not knowing what had happened to him. When they talked about killing people earlier, Lin Moyu had no reaction. Lin Moyu said in a low voice,
That half-step supreme is my sister.
White Tiger was stunned, its mouth twitching, and its voice softened immediately.
Sorry, I didn't know. I was just joking. Actually, I only need a little blood, not much.
Lin Moyu asked,
How much blood do you need?
White Tiger smiled.
Just 1 or 2 drops of essence blood will do.
Lin Moyu extended his finger and forced out 2 drops of essence blood.
Is this enough?
The 2 drops of essence blood floated in the starry sky, radiating powerful energy. Although Lin Moyu was only at the other shore realm, his physical body and soul were extraordinarily strong, far surpassing ordinary other shore cultivators. His soul was already comparable to a half-step supreme, and his physical strength was the same. With both his soul and body being strong, his bloodline was naturally powerful. Seeing Lin Moyu's essence blood, the 4 Origin Divine Beasts widened their eyes.
How can this be? Such rich origin power. How is your origin power so strong? I feel like your origin power is stronger than ours.
They looked at Lin Moyu as if he were a monster. Lin Moyu naturally knew that his blood contained origin power. Because he possessed origin spells, the origin power had long seeped into his bloodline and soul. He stared at White Tiger.
Is this enough? Enough.
White Tiger nodded its big head repeatedly.
Good, take it.
Lin Moyu waved his hand, sending the 2 drops of essence blood to White Tiger. Although essence blood was precious, he didn't lack it. His bloodline was strong, his energy like a dragon. Even if he gave away 1 or 2,000 drops of essence blood, it wouldn't matter. White Tiger was about to collect the essence blood when Black Tortoise said,
Wait a moment.
White Tiger asked curiously,
What's wrong?
Black Tortoise looked at Azure Dragon.
Azure Dragon, check if the origin power in the essence blood is useful to us.
They were Origin Divine Beasts, their power coming from the great world's origin, and they were extremely eager for origin power. If the origin power in Lin Moyu's essence blood was useful to them, it would be a great joy for them. Azure Dragon's eyes emitted 2 beams of light as it began to sense. The 3 Origin Divine Beasts watched it, not daring to breathe. Lin Moyu was curious. If his essence blood was useful to them, he could give them some. Of course, it wouldn't be for free. There would be a price. Lin Moyu had already thought of the price. If they became stronger, the chances of the great world winning the battle against the battle realm in 1,000 years would increase. Lin Moyu wasn't worried they wouldn't work hard. Their lives were tied to the great world. As long as the great world lived, they wouldn't die. So they would fight desperately for the great world. Azure Dragon studied for a long time and finally sighed.
No, it only contains the aura of origin, not the actual origin power. Even if it had origin power, we couldn't use it.
2259, 2259. Chapter 2259. The small world has disappeared? White Tiger opened its mouth.
Why?
Azure Dragon said,
Because his origin power does not come from the great world, but from the boundary sea.
It quietly collected the 2 drops of essence blood without saying a word. Lin Moyu found it strange.
Isn't origin power all the same? What's the difference?
Vermilion Bird said,
Whether your origin power comes from a more powerful world or the boundary sea, it's different from ours. We are the origin divine beasts of the great world. Our origin power comes from the great world. The great world has the ability to devour and absorb other origin powers, but we don't.
Well, if that's the case, Lin Moyu had no solution. White Tiger took away the 2 drops of essence blood.
After I deal with the pests of the black blood great world, I'll use your essence blood for bloodline tracking. You might feel something at that time. Don't be surprised, it's nothing.
Lin Moyu nodded slightly.
All right, I understand.
Azure Dragon let out a light cry.
Let's each do our own tasks now.
After saying this, Azure Dragon was about to return to the center of the battlefield to go back into hibernation. 1,000 years of time wouldn't allow it to recover much strength, but even a 1% increase would be good. Lin Moyu suddenly called out to Azure Dragon.
Wait, Elder Azure Dragon, I have something else to ask you.
Azure Dragon was very polite and had a good attitude.
Go ahead.
Lin Moyu said,
Now that all 100 divine paths are broken, and divine paths are difficult to repair and can only be rebuilt, the talisman Heavenly Sovereign told me 3 methods. One of them is to completely dismantle a divine path, then a new divine path can be rebuilt on the original site.
Azure Dragon let out a light hum.
You want me to dismantle the divine path, right?
Lin Moyu frankly admitted.
Yes.
Azure Dragon shook its big head.
This is indeed a method, but unfortunately, we can't do it. The divine paths are related to the origin of the great world. Besides the origin, they also contain the power of heavenly sovereigns. I am an origin divine beast of the great world. I cannot use the origin of the great world to attack the divine paths. If I don't use origin power, my combat power is not strong enough to clear away the power left there by heavenly sovereigns.
Lin Moyu didn't doubt Azure Dragon's words.
I see, it seems this path is not feasible.
Azure Dragon said.
So you only have 2 methods left. Either absorb the origin of the battle realm, perhaps the great world can evolve the 101st rune. However, given the current state of the great world, this probability is not high. The last method is to build a divine path that directly reaches the origin of the great world, but this divine path, even the heavenly sovereigns of ancient times couldn't build it, it's too difficult.
Lin Moyu wasn't disappointed in his heart. He had anticipated this answer.
I understand, we'll take it one step at a time.
Vermilion Bird chuckled.
The great path is difficult, but there's always a glimmer of hope. Don't be discouraged, believe in yourself. Thank you.
Azure Dragon returned to the center of the battlefield and went back into hibernation. Its domain enveloped the starry sky, and its aura began to rise again. This hibernation was different, it was voluntary. While hibernating, it communicated with the origin of the great world, hoping to recover as much power as possible. Black Tortoise let out a low growl.
I'm going to purify the dark void.
Vermilion Bird directly landed on White Tiger's back.
Let's go to the outer domain to eliminate the last remnants of the black blood great world.
Lin Moyu nodded.
I'll send you off.
He opened space gates, sending the 3 divine beasts away one by one. He sent Black Tortoise into the dark void, then sent White Tiger and Vermilion Bird to the border area. White Tiger and Vermilion Bird passed through the border area towards the outer domain. This trip was not only to hunt down the remnants of the black blood great world, but also to search for humans who had been scattered in the outer domain since ancient times. Who knows if those people are still alive? Perhaps they've all died out. The outer domain is not a good place. The further from the inner domain, the more dangerous it becomes. Most of these dangers come from the boundary sea. The power of the boundary sea seeps in from the edges of the world. The power of the boundary sea is very strong and can evolve all kinds of strange phenomena. Lin Moyu had been to the boundary sea once, and even he didn't dare to enter it. The boundary sea gave him a very dangerous feeling. If the world itself is strong enough, the power that seeps in will be weak, and naturally the danger will decrease. But the current great world is like a ball with holes everywhere. One can imagine how strong the power seeping in from the boundary sea is. Lin Moyu wasn't worried about white tiger and vermilion bird. After all, they are the origin divine beasts of the great world. They should be safe within the great world. A day later, Lin Moyu returned to the human star region. As soon as he returned, the Human Emperor Network actively contacted him, inquiring about the situation. After learning that everything was fine, the Human Emperor clearly breathed a sigh of relief. The human race is very busy now. The resources brought back need a long time to be transformed and arranged properly. The human race is also bustling with activity, with the Human Emperor constantly issuing new tasks, involving the entire human race in the transformation. In addition, Lin Moyu learned from the Human Emperor that in a few days the Star Space Fish People would come to visit. During the previous war between humans and the 100 races, the Star Space Fish People chose to remain neutral. In Lin Moyu's eyes, this choice was not the best. However, everyone knows the relationship between the Star Space Fish People and the human race. They were originally vassals of the human race, a race created by heavenly sovereigns. They have no karmic enmity with either the great world or the human race, so the human race didn't bother with them. If it were any other race that dared not to take sides, they would have been directly eliminated. The human race didn't make a move, and the 100 Races Alliance would certainly have made a move. Now that the human race has achieved a great victory, with only a few races left in the entire great world, countable on one hand. As long as the Star Space Fish People aren't too stupid, they would naturally come to visit and establish good relations. Lin Moyu didn't have much feeling about their visit. He didn't even want to participate. After all, he had past grievances with them. However, when he heard that the leader of the delegation was Yuqingru, Lin Moyu changed his mind. This princess of the fish people had once risked her life to bring him information. Lin Moyu would not forget this favor. Not far from the Vermilion Bird Star region, in the starry sky that was once the border of the human race, this was also where Lin Moyu's small world was located. Lin Moyu returned here again. After many years, he wanted to see his small world again. But when he arrived here, Lin Moyu suddenly discovered that the small world had disappeared. The location of the small world couldn't be wrong, but the small world was really gone.
How could this be?
Thinking back to how the small world had been flickering before, it did seem like it was about to leave. It's not difficult for a small world to leave, even he could take the small world to other places. But where did the small world go?
Where could it have gone? What about Antares? Wasn't he supposed to come out? Hundreds of years have passed. Why hasn't he come out yet? What exactly happened in the small world?
Suddenly, his connection with the small world appeared again. The small world just abruptly appeared before his eyes, as if what he had seen before was just an illusion. 2262,260. Chapter 2260. My soul zero. The small world indeed reappeared, so suddenly, without any warning. Lin Moyu was very close to the small world at this time, less than 100,000 kilometers away, which was not safe. Less than a second after the small world appeared, Lin Moyu's soul sent out a frantic warning. Danger! 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 Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and the laws of time and space intertwined, forming the power of time and space, enveloping his entire body. Mastering the two laws completely and intertwining them into the power of time and space was Lin Moyu's confidence in coming here again.
The danger of the small world comes from the power of time and space. I will use the power of time and space to deal with it, hoping to reduce the danger significantly.
As he thought this, a vast power of time and space already rushed towards him. The two forces of time and space collided, and Lin Moyu's whole body trembled, being forcibly shaken away. His soul was also impacted by the power of time and space, twisted and deformed by the collision.
So strong!
Lin Moyu marveled. The opponent's power of time and space far surpassed his own. At the same time, he also showed joy. His idea was correct. The power of time and space could indeed block the opponent's attack. At least his life was safe, but unfortunately, his power of time and space was not strong enough to counter it.
Let's try again.
Lin Moyu continued to envelop himself in the power of time and space and charged towards the small world, and another powerful force surged. With a bang, Lin Moyu was shaken away again. This time the force was stronger than before. Lin Moyu felt his power of time and space almost shattered. At the same time, he seemed to hear the sound of water. As he heard the sound of water, his connection with the small world rapidly weakened. The small world once again became illusory in his vision and disappeared in an instant. Only the sound of water continued, the sound of the boundary sea. The last time he came, Lin Moyu had heard the sound of the boundary sea.
The disappearance of the small world is related to the boundary sea.
Lin Moyu was now very certain that a mysterious strong person was manipulating everything behind the scenes. This mysterious strong person was outside the great world, trying to take the small world away. Such an existence had already surpassed the realm of heavenly sovereigns.
Why take the small world? Is it for the staff of calamity? Antares is still in the small world. What should I do?
Lin Moyu thought for a long time but couldn't come up with a solution. He couldn't even get close. He could only watch the small world disappear. Lin Moyu felt a deep sense of powerlessness.
Antares, don't let anything happen to you. You said you would go to the Dragon Clan with me. You must be safe.
At this moment, Lin Moyu thought of the first batch of people who came out of the small world. They also mysteriously disappeared. Could it be that they were also taken out of the great world? Such a strange thing happening under the eyes of the Human Emperor Network. Now thinking about it, it was highly possible. Lin Moyu watched from a distance, not approaching any closer. After a while, the small world reappeared. Then the small world disappeared again, and after a while it reappeared. Disappearing, reappearing, constantly cycling. It was like starlight, flickering on and off. Compared to last time, the disappearance time was getting longer, and the existence time was getting shorter. This also indicated that the connection between the small world and the great world was getting weaker and weaker, and it was not far from completely leaving.
In the end, it's still a matter of strength.
The slight pride brought by exterminating the 100 races and clearing the remnants of the black blood great world vanished at this moment. Even when facing beings like the Origin Divine Beasts, Lin Moyu did not feel any frustration. Even if he had to fight, he dared to fight with all his might. But facing his birthplace, the small world, Lin Moyu felt a sense of powerlessness. His consciousness entered his soul, and Lin Moyu saw his soul world, a world full of vitality. Starlight glittered, stars dotted the sky, spell stars hung high, and the world tree naturally stretched out, covering the sky and the sun. Lin Moyu saw the coffin of slumber. It was always by his side, and inside it, his 4 wives were sleeping. His soul reached out and gently touched the coffin of slumber. Thoughts of longing surged.
So tired. Qian Yunnerhanner, I really feel a bit tired. Becoming a supreme is so difficult. Becoming a heavenly sovereign is even harder. I don't know if I can succeed. But don't worry, I won't forget what I said. I will become a supreme, become a heavenly sovereign. I will defy fate.
Lin Moyu's soul felt tired, a feeling he hadn't had in a long time. Since entering the great world, he had been busy, never stopping in his pursuit of his goals. At this moment, facing the powerlessness of the small world, he felt exhausted.
I really want to sleep.
His soul touched the coffin of slumber, and unknowingly, Lin Moyu fell asleep. The sleep of the soul, like the hibernation of an Origin Divine Beast, completely relaxed his soul. The world tree dropped countless branches, slowly wrapping around Lin Moyu, sending a large amount of soul power into his soul. The wood god flower king left by the talisman Heavenly Sovereign was rolled over by the world tree and sent into Lin Moyu's soul. The wood god flower king melted quickly upon touching his soul, wrapping around it like flowing water. The aura of his soul was rapidly strengthening. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal unknowingly completed its sublimation, a 10th color gradually appearing. Although still weak compared to the other 9, it was indeed a real 10th color. This was a miracle even in the history of the Dragon Clan. Such a miracle had never occurred. The 10-colored dragon soul crystal spat out a breath of dragon breath towards Lin Moyu's soul. The dragon breath was warm and nourishing, making his soul more pure and clear. The divine cauldron, which had been silent for many years, automatically flew up, coming above his soul, pouring out a large amount of golden light. This mysterious substance called divine power seemed to amplify the effects of the world tree and the 10-colored dragon soul crystal, making Lin Moyu's soul even purer. In the originally purple gold soul, a golden flame suddenly appeared. The aura of origin wafted from the flame, gradually spreading throughout the soul world. Lin Moyu knew nothing of this. He remained in a state of deep sleep, his soul completely relaxed, sleeping soundly. Even in his sleep, his soul still held the Staff of Calamity, and at this moment, the soul gem on the Staff of Calamity lit up, emitting a faint light. The faint yellow light flowed like water, and wherever it passed, whether it was divine power, the dragon breath of the 10-colored dragon soul crystal, or the soul power of the world tree, all were fused together, forming a whole, completely absorbed by his soul. The soul gem on the Staff of Calamity acted like a commander, with all the various powers like soldiers, completely obeying the commander's orders. Under its effect, his soul absorbed all the energy, becoming more perfect. It looked like purple gold jade, with a flame burning in the center of the jade.
Brat, didn't I tell you not to come? Why do you keep coming back to court death? I told you, I'm fine, don't come looking for death.
Lin Moyu vaguely heard Antares' voice, and his soul, which had been in deep sleep for an unknown amount of time, slowly awakened. Lin Moyu opened his eyes and found himself still in the starry sky, with the small world billions of kilometers away. The small world was flickering, gradually disappearing, another cycle. For a moment, he couldn't tell if he had heard wrong, or if it was just a dream.
Antares, is that you?
Lin Moyu sent a message towards the small world. If it was really Antares, he should be able to hear it. A few seconds later, Antares' voice boomed in his ears.
Get lost, I told you not to come, so don't come.
Lin Moyu didn't leave, but continued to ask.
When exactly can you come out?
A few seconds later, Antares' voice sounded again.
There was an accident, I'll be out soon. The more you come, the later I'll come out. Get lost, when I come out, I'll naturally find you.
The small world disappeared, and Lin Moyu's connection with it was completely severed. Instead, traces of the Boundary Sea's aura appeared in the starry sky. This time, the perception was clearer than ever before, like a nearsighted person suddenly putting on the right glasses. Not only the Boundary Sea, but Lin Moyu felt the entire starry sky becoming clearer, as if he had opened the eyes of his soul.
Ha! My soul.
2261, 2261. Chapter 2261. The Power of Origin, Soul of the Supreme. Lin Moyu's attention fell on his soul, and he was surprised to discover that his soul had undergone a tremendous change. His soul was like purple gold beautiful jade, moist and noble, no longer looking like a soul but rather like a real living being. In the center of the soul, roughly where the heart would be, a golden flame was burning. As the flame flickered, strands of origin essence were emanating, permeating the soul world. With the origin essence, the entire soul world seemed to become stronger.
Origin fire, Supreme Realm soul.
Lin Moyu was shocked by himself. He had only slept for a while. How did his soul reach the Supreme Realm?
I didn't cultivate, didn't receive any rewards, and didn't comprehend the Tao. Could it be that I was too tired usually, my soul was too tense, and now that I've relaxed, I can take a step further? The Tao follows nature. Could this be achieving the great Tao through natural non-action?
After thinking about it, this was the only possibility. After confirming that his soul had ascended to the supreme realm, Lin Moyu felt even stranger. The divine path was broken, and the road to supreme in the great world was almost blocked. To become supreme, one needed to cross the divine path, gain the recognition of the great world, obtain the origin of the great world, and have origin power contained in one's rule world. With origin power, the rule world of the supreme would be greatly enhanced, far surpassing the holy venerable. But Lin Moyu was very clear about the current situation of the great world. With the divine path broken, it was impossible to gain the recognition of the great world again, and it was very difficult to obtain origin power from it. Without origin power, one could not become supreme. So to become supreme in the great world, one needed to find origin power. The origin power was not the kind of origin spell that Lin Moyu obtained in the small world, but something similar to origin crystals. It had to be ownerless origin crystals, such as those left after the destruction of a world, and they had to be non-conflicting. Even if he got special origin crystals like those from the Black Blood Great Realm, they would be useless. Lin Moyu had never obtained origin crystals, and he was also very curious about where his origin power came from. His origin was not the origin of the great world at all. Although both were origin power, they felt completely different. With his soul's sensitivity, he could easily sense the difference between the two. The more he looked at the flame inside his soul, the more familiar it seemed.
A golden flame. Isn't this just divine power?
Lin Moyu finally knew where his origin power came from, the divine power from the divine state cauldron. When he obtained the divine state cauldron back then, even Antares was surprised. Thinking back now, for something that could surprise even someone of Antares' level and strength, the divine state cauldron must be of an extremely high level. Later, the divine state cauldron rarely showed any activity. The most recent time was in the Cloud Mist sect, and it had been silent for hundreds of years since then. Who would have thought that the divine power inside it was actually origin power?
No wonder the divine state cauldron has such miraculous effects. Divine power is origin power. But for my soul to become like this, the divine state cauldron alone is not enough.
The law of time converged in the soul world, forming into a projection of a scene. Time reversal. Through the law of time, Lin Moyu examined the past to see exactly what had happened to him. Scene after scene during his sleep was presented before his eyes, and Lin Moyu finally knew what had happened to him. The world tree, the 10-colored dragon soul crystal, and the divine state cauldron worked together, finally led by the soul gem of the calamity scepter, ultimately bringing about this evolution. Without relying on the origin power of the great world, his soul had reached the supreme realm. For Lin Moyu, half of his path to the supreme realm had been opened. He only needed to open the other half for his physical body to become supreme. He didn't need the divine path, nor did he rely on the great world. Lin Moyu had known about this path for a long time. He had thought about looking for items containing origin power after helping the great world sever its karma. But now, before he even went looking, origin power had appeared on its own.
It turns out I've been sitting on a treasure mountain without knowing it.
The 10-colored dragon soul crystal, the divine state cauldron, the calamity scepter, any one of these was a rare treasure. Even in ancient times, those heavenly venerables would have fought over them. Lin Moyu's attention returned to reality. The breakthrough of his soul had not led to an increase in his realm. He was still at the other shore realm, not yet a holy venerable, and his rule world had not been constructed. The next thing to do was to elevate all his laws to rules, and then try to construct the rule world. The star refining of laws was not yet complete, still lacking some of the 10,000 stars, and there were not enough world crystals. Lin Moyu had his own ambitions. He hoped that his rule world could surpass all holy venerables. Not just the holy venerables of this era, but also those of ancient times. His ambition was great. He wanted to walk a path that no one had ever walked before. The rule world, not just perfect. After constructing the rule world, reaching half-step supreme, rebuilding the divine path, gaining the recognition of the great world, truly ascending to supreme. rather than saying, reaching the supreme realm by relying on the divine state cauldron. Unless he also wanted to leave the great world, he couldn't escape this hurdle of the great world.
There's still a lot to do.
Taking one last look at the flickering small world, Lin Moyu turned and left through the space gate that opened. The doors of the central divine hall were tightly closed, and a large number of arrays inside the hall were operating, exuding a peculiar aura. Little Mist sat on Little Ox, her big eyes filled with curiosity.
What exactly is divine wandering like?
Holy Venerable Hao smiled and said,
Divine wandering is a very special experience. When you have the chance in the future, Little Mist, you can try it too.
Hearing this, Little Mist became excited and shouted,
Yes, yes. Little Mist wants to divine wander too.
Holy Venerable Hao smiled warmly.
Let's hope this divine wandering will also bring some gains.
As she spoke, Little Mist suddenly turned her head towards the sky.
Master is back.
A space gate appeared in the starry sky outside the divine city, and Lin Moyu flew out. With a step, he entered the divine city. Seeing the tightly closed central divine hall, and sensing the peculiar aura, Lin Moyu knew that Heavenly Holy Venerable had started divine wandering again. Now that major matters were settled, Heavenly Holy Venerable could safely conduct divine wandering, hoping to enter the battle realm again and obtain more information. Over 1,000 years seemed like a long time, but it was actually very short. There were also Supremes in the battle realm, and there were chances to obtain realm seashells and enter the realm sea. They should also know about the impending encounter with the great world, and might be preparing for a great battle.
Master!
Little Mist called out joyfully, abandoning Little Ox and directly hanging on to Lin Moyu. In that moment, Little Ox felt a sense of abandonment. Holy Venerable Hao looked at this scene with a smile.
Finally back, you've worked hard.
Lin Moyu smiled.
It's all what needed to be done. How are things within the clan now?
Holy Venerable Hao said,
The clan is well. With these resources, our clan's fortune is rising, and talents are emerging in droves.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
This is good, but not of much use. What really determines victory or defeat is still top-tier combat power.
Holy Venerable Hao naturally understood that true victory or defeat was not determined by how many talents the clan had, but by the truly top-tier combat power within the clan, how many Supremes and Holy Venerables there were. Holy Venerable Hao sighed.
It's a pity that the divine path is broken. We old fellows, even if we fight to the death, can at most reach half-step Supreme.
Lin Moyu said,
The 4 origin divine beasts have awakened. The Red Star Supreme will also return to arrange the 10,000 star Great Array. And there's me and my sister. We are not without fighting power. There are still over 1,000 years. The future is unknown. Anything is possible.
2262 2262. Chapter 2262. Blood-Killing God. Causality Gourd. After chatting with Holy Venerable Hao for a while, Lin Moyu went to where the human emperor's main body was. All the human race's other shore realm cultivators were cultivating there, and their next task was to seize the time to cultivate. As for why they were cultivating, the other shore realm ancestors didn't know. However, since it was an order from Heavenly Holy Venerable, they would all obey. Heavenly Holy Venerable solemnly told them that the battle was not over, and the real Great War was about to begin. In the future Great War, the other shore realm cultivators would only be cannon fodder. If they wanted to survive, they had to quickly cultivate and achieve the Holy Venerable realm. The usually rare other shore realm ancestors were now all sitting cross-legged in the starry sky, diligently cultivating. Lin Moyu's arrival awakened many people, and they all looked towards Lin Moyu. Upon seeing Lin Moyu, many ancestors stood up and saluted Lin Moyu.
Mr. Lin! Mr. Lin!
These other shore realm ancestors, who had lived for thousands of years, all respected Lin Moyu greatly. They all knew that Lin Moyu had led the previous 100 Races war, and Lin Moyu's combat power was unparalleled. Even if all these other shore realm cultivators were tied together, they would not be Lin Moyu's match. With Lin Moyu's talent, becoming a holy venerable was a certainty, and reaching half-step supreme was not a problem. No one doubted Lin Moyu's future. Just looking at Lin Mohan was enough to know. In the great world, strength was respected, so they all respected Lin Moyu greatly and called him Mr. Lin. Lin Moyu returned the salute to the other shore realm cultivators, his gaze sweeping over them until he found Elder Lin. Blood-killing God was right next to Elder Lin, and at this moment, blood-killing God's state was very strange. He seemed to be at the other shore realm, but not quite. In Lin Moyu's eyes, blood-killing God was stronger than half-step other shore, but slightly weaker than a true other shore. There was no such realm in the cultivation path, and blood-killing God's state was very peculiar. It was all because of the causality gourd. The causality gourd had saved blood-killing God's life, but it also prevented him from truly stepping into the other shore realm. Lin Moyu came before Elder Lin and slightly bowed.
Elder Lin, I am here to fulfill my promise.
He had previously said that once he reached the other shore realm, he could cure blood-killing God. Now, he finally had the chance to fulfill his previous promise, which also meant completing his own causality. Hearing Lin Moyu's words, blood-killing God trembled all over, immediately stood up, and respectfully saluted.
Thank you, Mr. Lin.
Lin Moyu smiled.
No need to thank me. I have my own motives.
Blood-killing God smiled.
Of course, as long as I can be cured, this causality gourd will naturally belong to you.
Lin Moyu said.
The causality gourd is a rare treasure of the causality law. Are you really willing to part with it?
Blood-killing God laughed.
What's there to be unwilling about? It's just a gourd.
He spoke with great boldness, showing no attachment to the causality gourd. Lin Moyu looked at Elder Lin.
Elder Lin, what do you think?
Elder Lin chuckled.
I have only ever been passionate about tea in my life. Everything else is just external possessions.
Lin Moyu nodded.
Blood-killing God, please sit.
Blood-killing God sat down as instructed, and Lin Moyu extended his hand, pressing it in the air. A stream of the undying rule emerged. The undying rule split into two, with the power of death and the power of life simultaneously entering blood-killing God's body. Lin Moyu said,
The filthy blood power of the black blood great realm has already infiltrated your bloodline, eroded your soul, and finally polluted your blood sea. So the first step is to remove the filthy blood from your bloodline. Then the soul, and finally the blood sea. The process might be a bit painful, so bear with it. If you really can't bear it, you can cry out. The soul pain is unbearable, and it's not shameful.
Blood-killing God said in a low voice,
Mr. Lin, please proceed. I can endure it.
Wherever the power of death passed, the filthy blood in the bloodline was quickly corroded and soon completely removed by the power of death. While removing the filthy blood, the bloodline inevitably suffered damage. He trembled all over, countless drops of blood oozing from under his skin, turning him into a blood man. The power of life followed closely, beginning to heal the injured bloodline. After the pain, there was endless comfort. Blood-killing God instinctively wanted to shout out in pleasure, but immediately after, the power of death began to corrode other parts. Blood-killing God fell into a whirlpool of pain again, feeling both pain and pleasure, trembling all over but not uttering a sound. Lin Moyu cleared blood-killing God's bloodline as quickly as possible, and then it was the turn of the soul. Blood-killing God opened his soul to let Lin Moyu in, and Lin Moyu manipulated the world-burning fire to burn away the bloodlines in the soul. Fortunately, blood-killing God's soul body was not heavily polluted, only a little, much better than Xuanwu. When the world-burning fire burned the soul, blood-killing God finally couldn't help but let out a muffled groan. Soul pain was unbearable for ordinary people. After the intense pain, there was comfort. The comfort of the soul was equally stimulating, and blood-killing God almost couldn't help but let out a long howl. Finally, it was the blood sea. Following Lin Moyu's instructions, blood-killing God summoned his blood sea. The blood sea was filled with many bloodlines, all of which were the power of the Black Blood Great Realm. The power of death swept through the Blood Sea, completely clearing out the power left by the Black Blood Great Realm. Blood-killing God felt incredibly light all over. It was the first time in so many years that he had felt this way. If Lin Moyu were not still there, he would have wanted to let out a wild howl. Lin Moyu transformed the power of death into the power of life to heal blood-killing God's injuries and said,
"It's done."
Blood-killing God understood, immediately took out the causality gourd, and respectfully handed it to Lin Moyu with both hands.
"I have erased the soul imprint on it. From now on, this causality gourd belongs to you, Mr. Lin."
Lin Moyu accepted the reward he deserved without hesitation.
"Thank you."
Then he said to Elder Lin,
"I have other matters to attend to. When I have some free time, I will come to have tea with you, Elder Lin."
Elder Lin chuckled.
"Thank you, Mr. Lin. Take care."
What was once a difficult problem was now nothing in front of the current Lin Moyu, easily solved with a flick of the finger. No matter what the matter, strength is the key. As long as the strength is strong enough, everything can be done with ease. With the causality gourd in hand, Lin Moyu sensed the aura of the cloud mist sect from it. It could be inferred that the causality gourd should have come from a certain heavenly venerable of the cloud mist sect, possibly the illusory mist heavenly venerable. Through the causality gourd, one could accelerate the comprehension of the causality law, which might be of great use in the future. A team flew into the human race territory, and the human emperor's network opened a route for them, leading directly to the divine city. The team of the Starry Sky fish race had arrived, led by Yuqin Gru, and they brought several geniuses from their clan, without any holy venerables accompanying them. The Starry Sky fish race showed enough sincerity and lowered their stance, clearly indicating to the human race that their status was lower than that of the human race. In some small world's secular dynasties, this would mean submission. Of course, the human race had never thought of conquering the Starry Sky fish race. As long as they didn't cause trouble, the human race wouldn't bother dealing with them. At the port star, the human race's welcoming team had already arrived, led by Holy Venerable Hao. The human race also showed enough respect, with a Holy Venerable personally receiving them. After all, in the fish race, Yu Qingrou's status was not much lower than that of several Holy Venerables. This also demonstrated the sincerity of the human race. As soon as Lin Moyu arrived at the port star, he heard a light laugh in his ear.
"Xiaoyu, you finally came."
2263 Chapter 2263. Can we not talk about having children? Lin Moyu was stunned for a moment, not expecting his elder sister to come as well. Lin Moyu moved to Lin Mohan's side.
"Sister, why are you here?"
Lin Mohan looked at him.
"Of course I'm here to see my sister-in-law."
Lin Moyu's expression froze.
"Sister, Qi Gru is the princess of the fish race, and princesses can't marry outside their race."
Lin Mohan's eyes showed disdain.
"Can't marry outside? Then she can just not be a princess. That's the fish race's rule, not my rule. As long as you want to marry her, little you, I'd like to see them dare to disagree."
Lin Mohan was not at all polite, as if she would just kill her way through if the Star Sky fish race dared to disagree. Lin Moyu said,
"Don't always resort to violence. The Star Sky fish race is not our enemy."
Lin Mohan narrowed her eyes, a dangerous light gleaming in them.
"How come I heard that their clan leader once wanted to kill you? Moreover, there was the matter of Luotian before, which shows that their princess is not really forbidden from marrying outside the race. In any case, rules are made by people. As long as you're strong enough, you can make new rules."
Lin Moyu naturally understood Lin Mohan domineering, forceful, and decisive. Once Lin Mohan decided on something, if you agreed, that was fine. If you didn't agree, she would just slash at you with her sword until you agreed. Lin Moyu felt somewhat helpless.
"Sister, can I handle this matter myself?"
Lin Mohan looked at Lin Moyu.
"All right, big sister will give you a chance. It's best if you can handle it yourself. If you can't, big sister will help you. I really don't need your help."
Lin Moyu cried out in his heart. This kind of matter was much more complicated than fighting and killing. Lin Moyu continued.
And that girl called Yuzhua, don't forget about her. Big sister thinks she's a good girl too. Don't keep dragging it out. If you drag it out any longer, big sister doesn't know when she'll be able to hold a grandnephew. Grandmother is not here, so as your elder sister, I'm like your mother. You need to think about continuing the Lin family line. Look at those other Shore holy venerables. Which one doesn't have a big family? It's just you and big sister, isn't it too lonely? Let's build the Lin family. I guarantee it will be stronger than those holy venerables' families.
Lin Moyu was increasingly speechless. When had his elder sister become such a chatterbox? Lin Moyu let out a sigh.
Sister, you've changed. You used to be so aloof and rarely spoke.
Lin Moyu said.
That's towards others. When have I ever been aloof to you, my little brother? If you can't accomplish this, big sister will kidnap 800 girls for you tomorrow. I don't believe none of them can bear children.
Lin Moyu was completely defeated and could only take his leave. The Star Sky Fish Race's team appeared in the starry sky. A fish-like warship slowly flying over, docking outside the port star. The Human Emperor's network released a colorful mist to guide them. After the warship stabilized, the Fish Race's team flew out from the warship. Yu Qingru led the team, followed by 8 people. This team had a total of 9 members. After more than 100 years, Yu Qingru's realm had already risen to the 6th level of Divine Venerable. Due to the spatial laws, Yu Qingru's true strength was not inferior to high-level Divine Venerables, and she was also difficult to kill. The Fish Race members following behind her were all very young and all Divine Venerables. They were all geniuses within their clan. These geniuses were usually arrogant within their clan and were also very curious about the geniuses in the human race, wanting to compete with them. Lin Moyu saw Yu Qingru from afar, her eyes glowing slightly.
This girl is not bad.
Lin Moyu couldn't help but ask.
What's good about her?
Lin Moyu said very seriously.
Her face is not bad. Although not as good as your big sister, it's at least 90% as good. Thin waist and big hips, good for childbearing. She's good material for having babies.
Lin Moyu almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. So this was what Lin Moyu meant by
not bad.
Yu Qingru also saw Lin Moyu, a trace of joy flashing in her eyes. Then she saw Lin Moyu beside him. Lin Moyu's beauty was stunning. Even Yu Qingru was stunned for a moment, followed by some displeasure. Lin Moyu and Lin Moyu stood side by side, like a pair of golden boy and jade girl, making people admire and envy them. The young people who came with Yu Qingru all saw Lin Moyu and were immediately attracted by her extraordinary beauty. One by one, their eyes showed admiration. Lin Moyu's beauty was such that even the other Shore realm old ancestors could hardly resist, let alone these youngsters. Lin Moyu and Yu Qingru's gazes met across space. They nodded to each other, and Lin Moyu said softly,
The little fish girl seems to be jealous.
Lin Moyu changed the subject.
Those young people have all been captivated by you.
Lin Moyu was nonchalant.
Isn't that normal? Don't try to change the subject. If you can't handle Yu Qingru, you know what will happen.
Lin Moyu said,
Sister, can we not talk about having children? Your 4 sisters-in-law are still here. That doesn't conflict.
Lin Moyu directly blocked Lin Moyu's words. Their conversation was seen by Yu Qingru. The jealousy in Yu Qingru's eyes grew stronger, her mouth full of sourness.
What's wrong with me? Why do I care about him so much?
Yu Qingru couldn't express her feelings, but the sourness in her heart was real. In any case, when she saw Lin Moyu chatting and laughing with other women, she felt very unhappy. Yu Qingru cleared her thoughts and came before How Holy Venerable, curtsying gracefully.
Princess Yu Qingru of the Star Sky Fish Race greets Elder How Holy Venerable of the human race. May the human race prosper for 10,000 generations.
The young people behind her also bowed together, but their attention remained on Lin Moyu. How Holy Venerable smiled.
Guests from afar, Princess Qingru need not be so formal.
At this time, a box appeared in Yu Qingrou's hand with a flash. The box was about 1/2 meter high and wide, very exquisite.
This is a gift from our clan leader, congratulating the human race on their great victory and regaining control of the starry sky.
How Holy Venerable laughed heartily.
Clan leader Chibi is too kind.
The two seemed to be chatting happily, and the relationship between the two races also seemed very good. In fact, Lin Moyu knew very clearly that How Holy Venerable had almost killed his way to the Star Sky Fish Race to demand an explanation from Yuchibi. However, on the surface, How Holy Venerable still showed extreme politeness. This time, the fish race lowered their posture and came with gifts, which was also a form of submission. How Holy Venerable smiled.
This Venerable is very curious about the gift your esteemed race has brought this time, and can't wait to see it. I wonder if Princess Qingru minds?
Yu Qingru smiled charmingly.
Of course not. Originally, Qingru wanted to show and introduce it to the Venerable first.
With a hint of mystery, she added,
There are several items in the gift that Qingru personally selected, which are considered treasures even in our race.
How Holy Venerable smiled even more happily.
Oh? Then this Venerable must broaden his horizons.
Yu Qingru said,
Then please, Elder, open it yourself. Qingru will introduce it to you.
How Holy Venerable came to the box, lightly raised his finger, and the box opened with a sound. Suddenly, a rainbow light shot into the sky, and several powerful auras burst out from the box, gathering in the sky to form a 7-colored cloud, beautiful beyond compare. Seeing this scene, everyone present knew that the treasures brought by the Star Sky Fish Race must be extraordinary. Lin Moyu sensed spatial fluctuations from the treasures, knowing that some of the things inside should be related to spatial laws. The Star Sky Fish Race's bloodline contained spatial laws, and most things in their clan were related to it.
It seems that the Star Sky Fish Race has really bled heavily this time.
2264 2264 Chapter 2264 3 Gifts, Different Meanings. The box was not large, and inside it were 3 neatly arranged items. The value of a gift does not lie in its quantity but in its worth. If it has no value, no matter how much you give, it is useless. Yu Qingru introduced the gifts in the box to How Holy Venerable. She extended her delicate hand and took out the first item from the box. It was a scroll, somewhat ancient, exuding a desolate aura. Lin Moyu sensed a trace of a heavenly venerable's aura from it. The scroll must have been touched by a heavenly venerable, and for quite some time. Yu Qingru introduced,
This scroll once belonged to a heavenly venerable from ancient times. It contains a spell. Activating the scroll can unleash this spell, which has the power equivalent to a supreme strike. Although the scroll is a one-time use item, its value remains significant.
After speaking, Yu Qingru respectfully handed the scroll to How Holy Venerable with both hands. Listening to these words, Lin Moyu felt a bit strange. He could hear another layer of meaning in Yu Qingrou's words. Lin Mohan transmitted her voice.
The Star Sky Fish Race is not just giving gifts. They are also showing their strength.
Lin Moyu nodded slightly, indeed. The Star Sky Fish Race was telling the human race that they had more than one such scroll. Since they could give one to the human race, it meant they had plenty more. At the same time, the Star Sky Fish Race was making their stance clear. They could bow their heads, but they were not the vassals of the human race. Although the human race had regained control of the starry sky, the Star Sky Fish Race was not to be trifled with. If the human race wanted to attack them, they would fight to the death, resulting in mutual destruction. The Star Sky Fish Race, using their spatial laws, could directly enter the human race's territory and use the scrolls to cause unimaginable damage. Lin Mohan and Lin Moyu could understand this, and naturally so could How Holy Venerable. How Holy Venerable's smile did not change, but there was a hint of danger in his eyes.
What a nice gift.
Yu Qingru sighed inwardly, knowing that How Holy Venerable understood. But this was a decision made by the clan leader and the elders, and she had no power to oppose it. She could risk her life to warn Lin Moyu, and she could also die for the Star Sky Fish Race. As a princess of the Star Sky Fish Race, this was her duty. Yu Qingrou's expression did not change as she took out the second gift. This time, it was a gemstone, about the size of a fist, with what seemed like flowing water inside. From different angles, it displayed different colors. As the colors shimmered, space rippled in layers, and everyone could feel the dense spatial power from the gemstone. Yu Qingru held the gemstone in her hand.
This is a spatial crystal, refined by our clan leader over 1,000 years, gathering spatial power from the Lost Star River. It can be embedded in a magical treasure, giving it spatial power. It can also be used directly. As long as one is at the Holy Venerable Realm, they can activate it to open a spatial gate.
How Holy Venerable raised an eyebrow. This was indeed a good item. Opening a spatial gate was of great significance to the human race, greatly enhancing their flexibility. The spatial crystal, refined by the clan leader Yu Qimei over 1,000 years, was at the pinnacle of Holy Venerable Realm treasures, extremely precious. It was even comparable to some supreme realm treasures. Lin Mohan transmitted her voice again.
This time, they are showing weakness.
Lin Moyu naturally understood. This was to tell the human race that they did not want to go to war and hoped to coexist peacefully. 2 gifts. One showing they could fight to the death with the human race, and the other expressing a desire for peaceful coexistence, if not as friends, then at least not as enemies. How Holy Venerable smiled as he accepted the spatial crystal, understanding the Star Sky Fish Race's intentions. He said slowly,
"It is indeed a good item. It will make it much easier for us to fight." The spatial crystal was refined by clan leader Qimei, and it seems to still carry his aura.
Yu Qingru smiled.
The elder is joking. After all, it was personally refined by the clan leader over 1,000 years, so it is normal for it to carry some aura. With the elder's ability, removing this aura would only take an instant.
How Holy Venerable nodded.
That is true.
As he spoke, he casually tossed the spatial crystal to Lin Moyu.
Moyu, take a look.
Among the human race, only Lin Moyu was proficient in spatial laws. If Yu Qimei had done anything to the crystal, it would not escape Lin Moyu's eyes. Lin Moyu understood how Holy Venerable's meaning. Spatial laws surged, enveloping the spatial crystal. Yu Qimei's aura quickly dissipated, and the spatial crystal became purer. The 8 young people who came with Yu Qingru all turned to look at Lin Moyu. Their eyes were filled with shock and disbelief.
Spatial laws. How can the human race have spatial laws? His mastery of spatial laws is purer and more advanced than ours.
Yu Qingru turned and scolded.
Shut up, don't embarrass yourselves.
The young people immediately closed their mouths. Yu Qingrou's status was high, not something they could compare to. In the future, Yu Qingru was very likely to become the clan leader. When the future clan leader spoke, they dared not disobey. Lin Moyu returned the spatial crystal to How Holy Venerable, indicating that there was no problem. He had known from the start that there would be no problem. Yu Qimei would not play tricks on such matters. As a clan leader, Yu Qimei would not be so foolish. At this moment, Yu Qingru took out the 3rd gift.
This gift was personally selected by me for your esteemed race.
In Yu Qingrou's hand was a box. The box was very ancient and exquisite, with runes flowing on it, looking extraordinary. Seeing the box, How Holy Venerable was slightly moved. He couldn't help but glance at Lin Moyu before speaking.
What is inside this box?
Yu Qingru replied.
I do not know what is inside. The box has never been opened. This box has existed since ancient times, and the contents have likely been passed down from that era. Our clan does not have a rune master, so no one can open the box. But I believe that someone in your esteemed race can open it. I wonder if this gift satisfies the elder.
How Holy Venerable took the box and laughed heartily.
No matter what is inside, Princess Qingrou's thoughtfulness is impeccable.
From his eyes, it was clear that he was very satisfied. How could he not be satisfied? Even in ancient times, such a box was very precious. It would not be used for anything unimportant, nor would it be sealed with complex runes. In Lin Moyu's view, the third gift was the most thoughtful and likely the most valuable. This gift, personally selected by Yu Qingru, truly represented her intentions. This future clan leader was formally expressing goodwill towards the human race on behalf of the Star Sky Fish race. The welcoming ceremony ended in a very friendly atmosphere. The teleportation array on the port star was activated, taking everyone to the next destination. This time, unlike the previous one, they did not need to take them around for sightseeing. Before the fish race came, they had already informed the human race of their itinerary. They wanted to bring their young geniuses to see the world and also to see the young geniuses of the human race. There would be several competitions between the two sides to make friends through martial arts. This time, the Star Sky Fish race was arranged outside the Divine City. The human race set up formations outside the Divine City and arranged a place for them to stay. From there, they could see the majestic Divine City and feel its power. 2265 2265 Chapter 2265 Do me a favor, have a child for my brother. Leaving the teleportation array, the members of the Star Sky Fish race saw the Divine City. Magnificent, powerful, exquisite. No words could describe the Divine City. The Divine City is an unimaginable masterpiece, the strongest weapon left from ancient times. The young members of the Star Sky Fish race were all in awe of the Divine City, exclaiming in amazement.
So this is the Divine City of the human race. The most legendary city, even in the flames of war 10,000 years ago, the Divine City stood firm. It is said that back then, the Divine City withstood the siege of powerful beings from various races for over 100 years, buying time for Xiao Zhentian. What a powerful city! This is the true foundation of the human race.
This was the effect the human race wanted. From now on, the Divine City of the human race would leave an indelible impression on their hearts. Whether they became other shore or wholly venerable in the future, the power of the human race's Divine City would always be imprinted in their minds. Holy Venerable Hao said,
You will stay here for now. Tomorrow, we will enter the Divine City.
Hearing that they could enter the Divine City, the members of the Star Sky Fish race were excited. The Divine City of the human race was not a place anyone could enter. Even for the human race, it was not easy to get in. Many human race cultivators set entering the Divine City as their goal. They did not expect the human race to show such sincerity by allowing them to enter the Divine City. Without doing anything, just being allowed to enter the Divine City was enough to show the human race's sincerity. They felt respected and were very happy. Lin Moyu observed the expressions of these people. Although they were called young, each of them was actually 300 to 500 years old. Due to their bloodline, the Star Sky Fish race's cultivation speed far exceeded that of the human race. When the human race was still at the true God or God King realm at 300 to 500 years old, the Star Sky Fish race had already reached the Divine Venerable realm. However, also due to their bloodline, the lifespan of the Star Sky Fish race was too short. Even holy venerables could only live for 5,000 years. With a short cultivation time, these divine venerables were indeed young in terms of both age and mentality. Lin Moyu sighed lightly.
Seeing them, I feel old.
Lin Mohan chuckled.
You haven't even had a child yet. How can you be old?
Lin Moyu's scalp tingled again.
Can you stop talking about having children all the time?
Lin Mohan rolled her eyes at him.
Am I wrong?
Lin Moyu didn't want to argue with her, knowing he couldn't win. Suddenly, Lin Mohan walked towards Yu Qingru, her steps graceful and her demeanor enchanting. Seeing Lin Mohan approaching, the divine venerables of the fish race were once again captivated. Unable to take their eyes off her, their admiration evident. Yu Qingru was also influenced by Lin Mohan's beauty, but thinking of her and Lin Moyu standing together like a golden couple, she felt a pang of jealousy. Lin Mohan smiled as she approached Yu Qingru.
Sister, let's have a private chat. Sister?
Yu Qingru was stunned for a moment. Lin Mohan's age was unknown, but she looked very mature, indeed like an elder sister compared to herself. Lin Mohan had already walked aside, and Yuqin Gru, for some reason, followed her. As they walked to a distance, Yuqin Gru suddenly regretted it. Why did she agree to talk privately with her? She didn't even know the other person's name, so why did she obediently follow? Lin Mohan seemed to have a special aura that made Yuqin Gru instinctively feel she should listen. Lin Mohan flicked her fingers, causing the space to vibrate, and an invisible force enveloped them. No matter what they said, no one else would hear. With Lin Mohan's current realm, even the human emperor couldn't hear what she said. Lin Mohan looked Yuqin Gru up and down.
Not bad, very pretty face, thin waist, big hips, good for childbearing.
Yuqin Gru showed displeasure.
Senior, what exactly do you want to say?
Lin Mohan chuckled.
Let me introduce myself first. I am Lin Mohan, Lin Moyu's elder sister, his real sister.
She is Lin Mohan, Lin Moyu's sister? Yuqingrou's heart trembled. All her jealousy instantly disappeared, replaced by deep joy. Yuqin Gru blurted out,
Hello, sister.
As soon as she spoke, Yuqin Gru regretted it. How could she directly call her sister? Lin Mohan accepted it calmly.
Sister, I have a small favor to ask.
Yuqin Gru responded.
Please tell me.
Lin Mohan said. Yuqin Gru was stunned, her whole body stiffening, unable to react for a long time. Lin Moyu watched from afar. Although he couldn't hear what they were saying, he felt that Lin Mohan wouldn't say anything good. Seeing Yuqingrou's reaction, he knew it was nothing good. Yuqin Gru finally reacted after a long while, her mouth twitching.
Sister, please don't joke.
Lin Mohan shook her head.
I'm not joking, I'm very serious.
Although she was smiling, her tone was very serious. Yuqin Gru said,
I am a princess of the star skyfish race, and princesses cannot marry outside the race.
Lin Mohan chuckled.
So, you agree yourself?
Yuqin Gru suddenly realized she had misspoken. By saying this, she implied she was willing but couldn't agree due to the rules. Lin Mohan gently patted Yuqingrou's shoulder, like a big sister.
As long as you agree, it's easy. Leave it to me. Your clan leader will agree.
Seeing Lin Mohan's stunning smile, Yuqin Gru suddenly had a bad feeling.
Sister, what are you planning to do?
Lin Mohan said.
It's simple. I'll personally talk to your clan leader. If he doesn't agree, I'll beat him until he does. Don't think those scrolls are useful. In my eyes, they are nothing.
Yuqin Gru felt a bit scared. Lin Mohan didn't even care about those scrolls. Lin Mohan said,
All right, you don't need to worry about this. Just agree yourself. I know the story of Luoshan in your clan. If it happened once, it can happen again. In the face of power, rules are meaningless.
After their private conversation, they separated. Lin Moyu asked,
What did you say to her?
Lin Mohan said,
Nothing much, just asked if she would have a child for you. She didn't refuse and agreed directly. You, a grown man, can't even handle a little girl. Don't embarrass men, just go for it.
Lin Moyu felt helpless. His sister was really... He couldn't find the words to describe her. In the Divine City, Holy Venerable Hao handed the ancient box to Lin Moyu. The box had already been studied by the Rune Holy Venerable, but the runes on it were too profound, beyond the Rune Holy Venerable's capability. If anyone in the human race could open the box, it would be Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu took the box without hesitation. He now had 5 similar ancient boxes, 2 from the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable and 2 from the Mysterious Master. Lin Moyu had never opened the 5 ancient boxes, as he never had time to study the runes on them. The runes on the 5 boxes were different. Opening any of them would require a long time of research. He still didn't have time now, so he could only put the box away. The Divine City's light shone over the starry sky, showcasing its power. Yuqin Gru stood in the starry sky, looking at the Divine City, her eyes somewhat dazed, her thoughts chaotic. Lin Mohan's words kept echoing in her mind, and she didn't know what to do.
What are you thinking about?
Suddenly, A voice accompanied by spatial fluctuations entered her ears. 2266, 2266. Chapter 2266. When his face is thick, it's really thick. Suddenly hearing Lin Moyu's voice, Yu Qingru quickly came back to her senses. The next second, her figure disappeared, entering the deep space. Lin Moyu was already in the deep space, as if waiting for her. A smile blossomed on Yu Qingru's face. Upon seeing Lin Moyu, her mood inexplicably became exceptionally good. She looked at Lin Moyu carefully.
How did you come here?
Lin Moyu smiled and said,
I came to see you.
Yu Qingru felt warmth in her heart.
Is that all?
Lin Moyu didn't answer directly, but instead spoke of other matters.
Do you know that coming here this time is actually dangerous?
Yu Qingru smiled and said,
Of course I know. It's better that I come than the elders. And even if I'm in danger, you'll definitely protect me.
She seemed very confident, knowing that Lin Moyu wouldn't let her die. The first two gifts were both a show of strength and weakness. If the human race turned hostile, there was indeed a possibility they might keep her here. Lin Moyu asked,
What did my sister say to you?
Yu Qingru's small face suddenly turned red.
Don't you know?
Lin Moyu said,
You don't need to take her words too seriously.
Yu Qingru frowned, her eyes seeming to flare with anger.
Are you saying that what she said was all false?
Lin Moyu sighed.
That's not it. It's just that some things she didn't explain clearly. What things?
Yu Qingru stared at him with wide eyes. She seemed to be waiting for an explanation from Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu said,
You know, I come from a small world. In our small world, people start families quite early. I have wives, and more than one.
Lin Moyu explained about his 4 wives, and Yu Qingru's tightly knitted brows unconsciously relaxed. Her gaze softened. Yu Qingru looked at Lin Moyu, even feeling a bit of pity for him. Her voice became low.
So that means you need to reach Heavenly Venerable to reverse fate for them.
Lin Moyu said,
Yes, at least Heavenly Venerable, but Heavenly Venerable is very difficult.
How difficult Heavenly Venerable was. It was simply unimaginable. Forget about Heavenly Venerable, even Supreme was incredibly difficult. The Star Sky Fish race hadn't produced even a half-step Supreme in so many years. Heavenly Venerable was something they didn't even dare to think about. Yu Qingru said,
The clan leader once said, with all divine paths broken, it's impossible to reach Supreme in the great world unless.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
Although the divine paths are broken, the path to Supreme isn't completely cut off. I'm confident about reaching Supreme, but Heavenly Venerable is still out of reach for now. Moreover, the great world is about to experience a catastrophe. In this catastrophe, life and death are uncertain. If we're lucky, the great world might survive. If we're unlucky, we'll all die.
Yu Qingru was greatly shocked.
What catastrophe?
Lin Moyu said,
There's a world that's about to collide with the great world. The two worlds will engage in a great war, a fight to the death.
Lin Moyu didn't conceal anything. They had discussed this before and had decided to tell the Star Sky Fish race about this matter soon. This catastrophe concerned the entire Great World. As a part of the Great World, the Star Sky Fish race couldn't stay out of it. If the Great World wins, they can continue to live. If the Great World loses, they will die all the same. The human race didn't want the Star Sky Fish race to help them do anything. They just wanted them to know about this matter. As for what they would do, the human race didn't care. It was likely that the clan leader and elders of the Star Sky Fish race weren't fools. They would know what to do. Yu Qingru looked at the colorful space turbulence in the deep space, murmuring,
No wonder he wanted us to.
She suddenly turned her head to look at Lin Moyu.
What do you think?
At this moment, Yu Qingru's gaze was very firm. She seemed to have made a decision. Their eyes met, and Lin Moyu's gaze gradually became firm as well.
And there's one more thing that needs to be clarified. Besides the 4 wives, I also have a lover in the great world. If you're willing, I'll handle the other matters.
Lin Moyu finally made up his mind. Dragging things out wasn't a solution. It was better to make a clean cut. He wasn't skilled in matters of emotion. It was a tangled mess that couldn't be cut cleanly, so it was better to make a swift decision. Yu Qingru stared at Lin Moyu for a long while before uttering two words.
6.
Lin Moyu thickened his face and admitted.
6.
Yu Qingru asked.
If I don't agree, what will you do?
Lin Moyu said solemnly.
Then I can only say that we two are not fated. I won't force you.
Yu Qingru asked again.
If it's the clan leader who doesn't agree, what will you do then?
Lin Moyu said.
Clan leader Chibi once made me a promise. If he doesn't want to keep his word, then some things can't be helped.
Yu Qingru said.
Sister Han said she would beat the clan leader until he agrees.
Lin Moyu also smiled and said.
Believe that she has that ability. A half-step supreme in her eyes is just a matter of one sword strike.
Yu Qingru heard that Lin Moyu wasn't joking, and that his words were very serious. Yu Qingru sighed.
As a cultivator, I can't go against my heart. Who is that girl, and which of us is older?
Although she didn't answer directly, Yu Qingru had essentially agreed. Lin Moyu said.
Her name is Yizhu. I don't know which of you is older. You two can decide that yourselves.
Yu Qingru made a sound of acknowledgement.
Take me to meet her someday. All right.
Now that things were settled, Lin Moyu wasn't the kind of person to be indecisive. When his face became thick, he could disregard all worldly principles. Sometimes, Lin Moyu felt that this was quite enjoyable, being able to do whatever he wanted. He also thought of what Bai Yuan had once said, that in this world, having a strong enough fist is the principle. Thinking about it now, it was indeed so. Whether in the small world or the great world, or even outside the great world, all rules were fake. It only mattered whose fist was strong enough. Yu Qingru nestled in Lin Moyu's arms. The two chatted for a long time in the deep space. Yu Qingru told him about the things that had happened in the clan over these years. This included the change in attitude of the entire fish race towards the human race. Lin Moyu also told her about some of the things he had done battle after battle. Lin Moyu's experiences were far richer than Yu Qingru's. Yu Qingru listened entranced, while also worrying for Lin Moyu. The next day, a beam of light shot out from the divine city, transforming into a starry road in space. The voice of the human emperor's network rang out.
Everyone, please step onto the light and enter the divine city.
Yu Qingru led the 8 people onto the light, which carried them towards the divine city. Holy Venerable Hao led them on a tour of the divine city. The divine city was as large as a galaxy, so it was naturally impossible to walk through all of it. They could only take a cursory look at a part of it. They only saw the outskirts of the divine city and were not allowed to enter the core area. Many humans lived in the divine city, all of whom were geniuses with realms above divine venerable. Throughout the divine city, humans were cultivating everywhere. There were arena after arena, with people engaging in martial arts on them. Just looking at the divine city, one could feel the current state of the human race vibrant and flourishing. The young people of the fish race saw this and realized that the situation of the human race was completely different from what they had imagined. They had thought that after regaining control of the starry sky, the human race would become complacent. After all, with no enemies, even if they were cultivating, they should take some time to rest. Yu Qingru initially had similar thoughts, but after Lin Moyu's explanation yesterday, she understood. The human race was preparing to face new enemies, more terrifying enemies.
I hope this time, the clan leader can make the right choice.
In her view, all the previous choices had been wrong. When the human race was at war with the 100 races, they should have taken a side and stood with the human race. If it had been like that, their relationship with the human race should have become very good. They wouldn't have had to come bearing gifts, showing strength yet also weakness, which looked somewhat ridiculous. 2267 2267 Chapter 2267 Grandma doesn't want to hear you talk. In a palace next to the central hall of the divine city, Lin Moyu, Holy Venerable Hao and Holy Venerable Fu were watching a projection provided by the Human Emperor's network. In the projection, the young people of the Star Sky Fish Race were touring the Divine City. The Human Emperor's network deliberately magnified the micro-expressions of the Star Sky Fish Race members, allowing Lin Moyu and the others to observe their every subtle emotion. Holy Venerable Fu asked,
How do you plan to deal with the Star Sky Fish Race?
Holy Venerable Hao smiled.
They were originally vassals of our human race, but it's been so long that they themselves have forgotten. If it weren't for this, we would have dealt with them after the 100 Races War.
Holy Venerable Fu said.
I'm afraid that's only one of the reasons.
Holy Venerable Hao looked at Lin Moyu, his meaning clear without words. Lin Moyu's face thickened.
Let me handle the Star Sky Fish Race matter.
Holy Venerable Hao immediately agreed.
No problem, but this old man is curious. How do you plan to handle it?
Lin Moyu said.
That will depend on what they do.
Holy Venerable Hao didn't pursue the question further. Since Lin Moyu had spoken, he would leave it to him to handle. He looked at Holy Venerable Fu.
Are our people ready?
Holy Venerable Fu nodded.
They're ready, but I don't know if Brother Lin wants to participate. After all, by age, you're younger than all of them.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
Forget it. I won't go bully children. I have other things to do.
Holy Venerable Fu nodded.
All right, I'll arrange the rest.
Holy Venerable Hao asked.
How about Moyu watches the competition with us, to see the young people of our two races?
Lin Moyu smiled.
What's there to see in children fighting? I have some things to do, so I won't accompany you.
Holy Venerable Hao seemed to guess what Lin Moyu was going to do, and couldn't help but laugh. Holy Venerable Fu was slow to realize and still didn't understand. Lin Moyu indeed wanted to make a clean cut. Since he had already decided, there was no point in wasting time. The exchange competition would last for several days, enough time for him to handle things. After touring the Divine City, the human race arranged a feast for the Star Sky Fish Race, letting them enjoy human race cuisine. Meanwhile, Lin Moyu and Lin Mohan had already left the human race territory, their whereabouts unknown. The area that once belonged to the Buddhist race had now become the territory of the Star Sky Fish Race. The Star Sky Fish Race used spatial laws to set up formations. They didn't have many people and couldn't guard every inch of space like the human race. They could only rely on formations. If anyone invaded, the formations would naturally sound an alarm and lock down the space. Fortunately, the area occupied by the Star Sky Fish Race wasn't large. After years of setup, the formations now covered the entire clan. With a slight spatial tremor, a space gate appeared outside the Star Sky Fish Race's territory. Lin Moyu sensed the situation of the Star Sky Fish Race and quickly adjusted his laws. Just a minute later, another space gate opened, leading directly to the heart of the Star Sky Fish Race territory. Uchibi, who was cultivating in the Star Sky Fish Race territory, suddenly awoke. Spatial laws surged and he appeared in space. His gaze swept around and saw Lin Moyu and Lin Mohan. Immediately after, several holy venerable other shore cultivators appeared one after another. Lin Moyu didn't conceal his aura. Anyone above the other shore realm could sense it. Seeing Lin Moyu, several elders were surprised and also became alert. They couldn't imagine that Lin Moyu could break through the spatial formations and reach their core area before being discovered. And from the looks of it, Lin Moyu had deliberately let them discover him. Otherwise they might not have known at all. This ability to appear and disappear without a trace was truly terrifying. Uchibi looked at Lin Moyu, his brows tightly knitted. He realized he had underestimated Lin Moyu. Not only had Lin Moyu mastered spatial laws to 100%, but he seemed to have other abilities as well. Otherwise, Lin Moyu wouldn't have been able to break through their formation blockade. Uchibi's gaze swept over Lin Moyu and landed on Lin Mohan. Even he was shocked by Lin Mohan's beauty. He dared to swear that Lin Mohan was the most beautiful person he had ever seen in his life. But after all, he was a holy venerable. He quickly came to his senses and moved his gaze away from Lin Mohan. Lin Moyu cupped his hands towards Uchibi.
Clan leader Chibi, long time no see.
Uchibi tried to keep calm.
What are you doing here?
Lin Moyu said.
I've come to propose a marriage.
Propose a marriage? Everyone was confused. What did he mean by proposing a marriage? At this moment, Lin Mohan said,
I am Lin Moyu's elder sister, also his elder. On his behalf, I propose to your clan to marry Yu Qingru to my younger brother.
As soon as these words were spoken, the whole hall was in an uproar. Everyone showed expressions of disbelief. What kind of person would say such things? Those present all felt that this woman must be crazy.
Such a beautiful woman, it's a pity she's crazy. How can she say such things? What is she thinking? Does the human race really think they're the masters of the world? To dare say such bold words. Although the human race is strong, our clan is not to be trifled with. At worst, we'll fight to the death together.
The elders of the Star Sky fish race were furious. Anger also rose in Yu Chibi's eyes.
Do you know what you're saying?
Lin Mohan smiled.
I spoke very clearly, and you heard very clearly. Surely a holy venerable isn't hard of hearing.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Clan leader Chibi, don't forget what you promised me. A promise, as long as you can fulfill it, you will never break it.
Yu Chibi's expression suddenly froze. How could he have imagined that Lin Moyu would make such a request? He had always thought that Lin Moyu and Yu Qingru were just friends. He never thought it would develop into a husband-wife relationship. He said in a deep voice,
Lin Moyu, I did give you a promise, but this matter is not acceptable. I cannot violate the clan's rules, even if I am the clan leader.
He firmly rejected Lin Moyu. If he could agree to such things, what would become of the clan rules? Lin Mohan suddenly let out a coquettish laugh.
Don't speak so absolutely. It's not the first time your clan rules have been broken. Breaking them once or twice doesn't make much difference.
Lin Mohan's words reminded them of Luotian. Although Luotian was great, it was still a scar in the fish race. Back then, it was because the clan was in trouble that they had to accept Luotian. Such a thing could not happen again. Yu Chibi said,
The matter of Luotian was a special case. This cannot happen again.
Lin Moyu said,
It seems that clan leader Chibi doesn't intend to keep his promise.
Yu Chibi said,
Everything else can be negotiated, but this is absolutely impossible.
Lin Mohan laughed continuously, her voice gradually turning cold.
Grandma came today to give you face. Don't be ungrateful. If you really anger Grandma, do you believe I'll slaughter you all?
The atmosphere instantly froze, and all the elders shouted in anger.
How dare you act wild here? Don't think your human race can cover the sky with one hand. We're not easy to deal with either. If you don't apologize, you won't be able to leave today. Capture them and let the holy venerables of the human race come to collect them.
Suddenly, a powerful aura surged to the sky, instantly occupying the entire space. Space completely solidified, and along with it, the expressions of all the elders of the Star Sky fish race froze. The aura of a half-step supreme realm was like a great sun hanging overhead, pressing down on them so they could hardly breathe. Lin Mohan said in a low voice,
Shut up, Grandma doesn't want to hear you talk.
2268, 2268.